We love hip hop.
Down that right there. Make sure you got enough leeway on the headphones.
Check.
Right.
Sick.
Make sure the sound effects are good here. One second.
Bless.
We love hip hop.
See, we're an audio podcast, right?
Yeah.
So I like to start with some music. You know what? Before I start with the music, let me just start out right off the top of this unboxing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to turn the YouTube component of this into an unboxing video at the same time.
And just to let you know, I boxed this myself. Okay. So it wasn't like professional. Well, it is professionally done, but
of course.
Right. So yeah, that's a little
it's got a bow on it.
Yeah, that's a little flavor that I, when I used to work at Gucci. Shout out to Victor. Shout out to Kearney.
This is well knotted.
Yeah.
This is professional knotting right here, man.
Yeah. So just like when Ye did his internship at YSL, Gucci was my internship.
Yeah, because this is courtesy of Art of Color.
Yeah, a room full of colors.
Room full of colors.
Yeah. So that's the clothing line right now.
I'm mixing up friggin' accounts because I was just looking at something called Kits of Arts or something.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
Room full of color. My bad.
Room full of colors. A room full of colors.
Oh, there we go.
Colors.
There we go. Let's see here. The unboxing.
Yeah.
A room full of colors.
Yes, indeedy.
Bam.
Yeah, so that's the gift card that everybody gets.
I'll put that up for some placement later. Oh, Lee, it's a few t-shirts in here and stuff.
Yes, I got.
Let me open this one right here.
Yeah.
Sorry, for the listening audience, y'all got to wait for a second before we get into the jams and stuff like that. We're doing a YouTube unboxing video. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's going to be all the way live today.
You might want to peep the YouTube video later.
It's gonna be a real party today.
This is fire.
Right?
Holy.
Yeah.
I want to see this one in here with a scuba. Woo.
Yeah, all designed by myself. Yeah, so I'm the one-man band.
I'm the one-man army. Hey, son.
Right.
Oh, she got the scuba goggles on.
Yeah. So that t-shirt is called Love Not War.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the Love Not War t-shirt collection right there.
Holy. I'm going to do one more because I love me a crew neck.
Yeah, that's the one. This is a one of one. This will never be done again. This is strictly for Friday, period.
Jeez.
Period. So we're taking it back.
We're
taking it back.
Jesus Christ. This is so sick. With the patches on the side.
Yeah.
Watch the logo here on this side.
Yeah.
And gang. Boom.
Right?
I want to go get a poutine right after this, bro.
Right.
Holy, thank you, fam.
Right.
Man, this is fire.
Right? Original.
I'm ready to pod now.
Right?
Let's start it off with some music for the listening audience because we got something. I call them the cubicle gang. You know what I'm saying? They're the people who are at their desk and stuff.
Right.
They be listening to us on a Monday or on a Thursday morning.
Okay.
So they need them music. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. Let's get into this, man.
That was a classic moment in in the whole startup with my career and stuff. Shout out to Saukrates, of course.
Of course.
So long but short story. I'll see if I can condense that. So
hold on before we do that because I want to introduce you.
Okay.
We got to get it right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And big salute to Big Sauks because I had an interview with him not too long ago, and I've interviewed Choclair, right? Cardinal, Solitaire.
Silver,
I'm putting all the pieces together. You know what I'm saying?
You're slowly piecing the crew together.
Yeah, I am. So this is an honor for me. So I want to make sure I introduce you right. Right? This gentleman, he's been doing his thing in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. For the people who were just watching the unboxing that we just did just now, you know what I'm saying? He's into the fashion game now, but this is is also a very accomplished musical artist, whether it comes to the rhymes, production, you know what I'm saying? The man can sing. He could do a lot of things, man.
Full package deal.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into some big black Lincoln talk too, gang. For all y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could get into some talks.
You know what I'm saying? So with no further ado, we have Dolla in the motherfucking building.
Let's do it. I remember you when you was a short fire.
What up, y'all?
And also, let me give a quick salute to my sponsors before we get into this. Big salute to the sponsors. Diamond Club. They got deliveries all over the GTA. All right. They got the best pens. They got the best edibles. They got the best flour.
Nice.
All right. Everything you need. Hit them up on their Instagram page, diamondclub_Canada. Or you can find them on the 7 Days of Weed website. Also, steaming hot grabber, all right?
Jeez.
If you need some grabber to blend with the team, you know what I'm saying? These guys have this is some hot grabber.
I'll admit, grabber does not work with me well. I've had 2 episodes with grabber, and I'm like, yo,
get you to wavy. Well, listen, for all y'all people out there who are the grabber connoisseurs, hit them up. They got a Instagram page, steaming, no G on the end, hot grabber. All right, they'll handle your order.
Nice.
Scene. So brother, I like I said, I've been putting the pieces together. Of this whole the circle,
right,
the figures of speech, all the different the squads and crews of this Toronto come up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm really glad that you came through today to chop it up with the boy Friday.
Yeah, for real.
Talk to me about the room full of colors first.
Room full of colors.
Or a room full of colors.
A room full of colors. So that's the clothing brand. A room full of colors. The inception, idea wise. So that was incepted. Let me see, like 2009, 2010.
Wow, back then, eh?
Yeah. So it was like a kind of like a phrase that I was saying, you know, within my my construct of music and stuff. Another thing that I constructed myself is kind of like, making, having my own little thing for like the city. So like I used to call, like when everybody was calling it T dot, blah, 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 for my own little flave, I used to call it North Hollywood. So it was like the flip of what Toronto is known for in the movie industry.
In the movie game, yeah.
So they called it Hollywood North, right? So I just flipped it backwards, called it like North Hollywood. And I used to say that once in a while, especially on Choclair's projects and stuff. I used to say that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, A Room Full of Colors is basically, the idea is basically, when it comes to color forms and hues of colors and stuff, and how to encapsulate that within your emotions. So a lot of people don't really understand that when they wear certain colors, that it gives them a certain feeling.
Right.
But what I wanted to do is tie into it more the emotional aspect, right? So, for instance, red. So red is known to be a vibrant color. It's the most dominant hue color. It's the most attractive to the eye. Some people think it's like I said, fiery, or like, it's used for romantic purposes or whatever. Yeah. But to some people, it might not even be that. It could be soothing. It could be anger. It could be inspiration for whatever, right? So my thing was like, for whatever color suits you, how does it represent you within a positive notion? So in your room, in your own individual space, what colors represent yourself in an emotional space that brings forth positivity? Right. So so that's where it basically spanned from. Took the leap of faith, I would say 2018, 2019. And it's just been a run. It's just been a run ever since then. I haven't, it's just been a blessing, to be honest with you. Nothing but positive feedbacks from everybody that's seen it, everybody that's worn it, everybody that's asked, the question of what it really stands for, as well as that, out of the whole crew, I'm the fashion guy.
Yeah, because you
Right.
guys, that collective had the whole city, the whole country pretty much weak, right? In the late 90s, early
for
2000s.
about 11, 12 years to be exact.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So during that time, right? And that time I'm talking about, this is the time when, you were appearing on multiple tunes with Cardinal, Choclair, the whole circle time, right?
Yeah.
Were you into the fashion back then?
Oh yeah. Everybody knows me. Everybody knows me for the fashion. Not to say that nobody in the city wasn't doing fashionable stuff, but when it came to visual, especially within the music industry, like I'm the guy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, like I'm the yay, if you want to put it point blank. Right. So, for instance, with Choclair's first video, What It Takes, shout out to Damon from Lounge and all of those guys.
So Lounge.
Yeah.
You just brought back memories, bro.
Yeah. So shout out to Dame, Community 54, all that. So in that video, shout out to Director X, Desi, shout out to all of them, right? So basically, it was them and myself that actually styled that video. So without me actually even knowing that I was going to take part. So basically, how it came about, everybody knew me as the fashion guy. It was like, yo, Ro, we need some gear for the for the video.
Yeah.
What do you have in your closet? Right. So literally, I would say about 80% of what you've seen in that video is from my closet.
Wow.
Right. So, and one of the last scenes in that video, you would see, if you go back, you'll see me and Cardi wearing Helly Hansen.
Hold on. The Helly Hansen jacket that Choclair's wearing with Julie Black on the horizon there. I think they were on the
Center
harbor.
Island. Yeah, Center Island to get the view from the city.
That's all gear that you styled them in and stuff.
No, so that's Damon and those guys' gear.
Okay.
Right? That brown leather polo jacket, that's Damon and that stuff. The red and white blue Helly Hansen jacket that Cardi was wearing.
Yeah.
That was actually no. I think I wore that because I think we switched it. I can't really remember.
Yeah, because I'm going to be showing. Not to interrupt you. I'm going to be showing some visual aids. For the people to be like, okay, yeah. But we were basically the first ones to rock Helly Hansen in the videos. In the city. I think Cardi was wearing my jacket at the time, so it was my personal Helly jacket, which was the aqua blue, navy blue, and the white. So from day one, everybody knows me for the fashion stuff. You're the fashion guy.
So like I said, not to say that people in the city weren't doing their thing, but when it came to the industry itself, I'm the guy.
Wow. So and I want to get into the circle stuff, but this fashion stuff is very interesting to me. Were you were you also influenced by the Two Black Guys, 100 Mile, all them back then too?
Of course. Shout out to Gary, 100 Miles. You know what I mean?
That's alumni.
Yeah, East Ender. Shout out to Gary once again. But all of them. Yeah, I was influenced by them. Favorite designer of all time for me is Ralph Lauren. So studied him. Karl Lagerfeld. Studied him. Coco Chanel, studied her. Who else did I study? Gucci, studied Gucci. Who else did I study? Nautica. And you mentioned right working for Gucci at some point too. Yeah. So I actually worked for Gucci. I worked for Gucci for about 2 years, 3 years. Assistant inventory manager. So the headquarters, which is the flagship store on Bloor Street. Shout out to Victor. Shout out to Kearney. So I was there for about 2-3 years. Learned extremely a lot. I learned a lot, right? So super blessed for that. That's home, so yeah. It was just, just thinking
dope,
about
man.
it right now, like, everything from like just packaging, price pointing, materials, what differentiates the leather. So as an example, when it comes to reptilian skin, most expensive piece, I should say, most expensive portion within the reptilian is the belly of any reptilian. That's the most softest.
Right, and
part.
you're saying reptilian because you're not just talking snake skin. You're talking about
alligator, reptilian, like anything of that nature. The belly of that creature is the most expensive piece.
I did not know that.
Because it's the most softest. Yeah, so like from that to color coordination, man, like so many different stuff. Even like perfumes. Like everything. So that was my not even a study thing, but like because I'm so much into it, it's just naturally something for me to study. So
it's something that you enjoy taking the information in.
Yeah.
No, that's blessed, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And okay, so to go now into the circle, right?
Yes.
Choclair, Saukrates, Cardinal Official, Solitaire, Tara Chase, right? So
Marvel, Scrupulous, Anthem Vandal, Bucktooth, the whole crew.
So when that crew came together, did you join it and they were already a part of the crew, or were you part of the inception of it? Big salute to the sponsors, Diamond Club, with delivery all over the GTA and now all across Canada. They got the best selection of flour, edibles, and pens, and all types of goodies that you need. You can find them on their Instagram page, DiamondClub_Canada, or you can find them on the 7 Days of Weed app, as well as the Leafy Things app. Let them know that you heard about them through the We Love Hip Hop Network, and they may give you a discount. Big salute to Diamond Club. Cheer!
Yeah, so the way that whole thing came about was my crew, which was myself, Choclair, another gentleman by the name of Casey Thomas, another gentleman by the name of DJ Supreme, which was Choclair's DJ at the time. So that was our crew.
Right.
FOS, Figures of Speech, that's the rest of the mandem. So that's Cardi, Sauks, Look, Solitaire, Bucktooth, Anthem Vandal, Marvel, Tara Chase, Julie Black. Tara Chase was an additive from because she's from
MTL,
from Montreal. Yeah. So we added her to the full from the early out, right? So so there was two crews that were combined, and that inception and idea was formed by Look. So and the reason why that whole thing came together was we were basically hanging out with each other from time, like just on a vibe type of thing, and we were also doing music together, and he basically said, hey, we're hanging out with each other. We're doing music together, whatever. Like just
make a crew.
Just make a whole crew to it.
And not to interrupt you, but something to add on to that. Were you also part of that Fresh Arts program back in the days too?
So my thing with Fresh Arts is I was actually late. So the time that I was actually wanting to join, it was like maybe a month before it closed down. Right. So the whole thing about so just to give you a quick background of how like I came into the whole fold. So me and Choclair went to high school together. So we met grade 9 French class. Right. So, everybody wants to like not be in the front of the class. Right. So, but for me, like, I'm more attentive type of person, whatever. So I was in the front of the class. He came in late, right? He'll probably laugh when he hears this. But he came in late. We basically formed up from that time. Casey Thomas at one point in time heard me like rapping in the hallways. And I wasn't that type of guy to like, show off, my skill set or whatever. And it wasn't even anything that I really wanted to do anyways, right? Like rapping and, music wasn't even really my thing. Like I went to the New Conservatory of Music when I was about 9-10 years old. I studied piano at that time. My mom sent me to private lessons for like maybe a year, 2 years. Then I went to the New Conservatory of Music. So it was just that. It wasn't really anything to do with anything. So I was into hip hop. Okay, let me just do my own little thing.
Yeah.
Casey Thomas heard me in the hallway and he's like, yo, you should come to practice. And I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. And then he's like, no, you should come to practice. Let Kareem, hear you, which is Choclair, by the way. So it's like, yo, let him hear you, whatever. Went to practice one day, did whatever I did on the mic. He's like, man, how come I didn't even know about this?
You're keeping that low key.
Yeah, he goes, how come I didn't even know about this? He's like, man, like, you need to like do this. And I'm like, nah, I ain't doing this. No. He goes, no, you have something. You really need to pursue this and do this. I'm like, okay, cool. So kept on going to practice. And then one day he's like, yo, I'm hooking up with the rest of the mandem, which was Cardi, Sauks, whatever. Yeah. And then so I followed him that time to the Fresh Arts program. Got there late, but then after, what they used to do is they used to do like freestyle sessions in like a circle or whatever. So, he was kind of like edging me like, okay, it's your time. Like, because they would go around in the circle. Okay, your time. And I'm like, oh my God. So I did my shit. After I did my shit, everyone was like, yeah. And then that kind of like gave me the energy to like say, you know what? I might have something here. Let me just keep on going, see, what happens. And then I just kept on practicing, kept on writing, whatever. And then it just turned into, you know what? I actually think I have something musically to give off. I used to write poetry just as something to write. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me utilize that in rhythmic form as well. And then, mesh those two together. So mesh those two together. And that's basically how it came about. So if it wasn't for Choclair, like, there would be no me. Wow. Basically, yeah.
Wow. Salute to Choclair, man.
Yeah. So big up to Choclair for sure.
And there's some water there if you want also here.
For sure.
In our custom We Love Hip Hop glasses right there.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And you're a Scarborough man, right? You grew up in the East End, right? We're as a
East Side all day.
Right? You know what? Low key, I'm an honorary East Side man, right? People know me for Parkdale and downtown and all that, but low key. For the people who be seeing me in the East, salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is a very Toronto-centric program. So the audience is going to be like, Scarborough? Yeah. So what part of Scarborough though, fam?
Yeah, so grew up in Malvern. Malvern, Hilltop. Right, So grew up in Malvern and then obviously, branched out, into other, not into other places, but, not too far from Malvern. Yeah, but Malvern is home. It will always be home. But I was born in the West End.
Okay.
Right? So I was born in Jane and Finch, right? 5 Needle Fairway to be exact.
Okay, so then when did your family move over to the East End?
Early 80s. Yeah, so early 80s we moved to the East End and that's about it.
And what was the household like? Was it a full household, both parents, one single parent, brothers, sisters? What was the dynamic like?
So both parents, but in one of the mixtapes that I have, like I kind of mentioned, like, basically like, how I came up in the household. So it wasn't really like, the typical, poshy, household, so 2 parents, but like I said in the verse, grew up like I never had a dad, right? So even to this day, I'm not really,
You're not too close with him.
Yeah, I'm not too close to my dad. Like we see each other, everything's blessed or whatever, but it wasn't that type of party. 3 siblings, so I have a sister, 2 brothers. They're all older.
Okay. So you're the youngest in the family.
Yeah, so the youngest in the family, but don't get it twisted. I didn't get like no sugarcoating over here.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So there's no sugarcoating in my family for sure. But yeah, 2 brothers, 1 sister. What else can I say about the household? Yeah, it's a typical West Indian household. Everybody fends for themselves.
Mm-hmm,
Everybody education was at the forefront. Achieving, trying to achieve to get to your highest level of self, and to make some sort of contribution into the world and for your family, and to do something more than what your parents did, which is the motto. It's always to try and not to like overstep or to supersede, but your parents brought you to a certain point, and it's your obligation to get to the next level, not to stay within the same realm, right? Especially
make them proud.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, them being West Indian, first generation, coming here from, the West Indies. So it was very imperative that, their hard work and their labor didn't go in vain. Right? So of course, they weren't inclined of the music, they wanted,
Wait, hold on. Which island are you from? I think Guyana.
Jamaica.
No? Oh, the Jamaica.
Yeah.
parents.
So both parents are from Jamaica.
So there's 2 different types of Jamaican parents, right? There's the ones who are into the dance hall and all that. They're the more like, I guess. And I'm not Jamaican, but I'm just going from my just being around bare Jamaicans, right? They're the more easy, chill ones, right? And then there's the church ones, like don't bring none of that secular music, none of them things in my.
So in my family, it was split. So my mom is the church, 24/7
Say your prayers.
Yeah. Right. My dad is like the little Rudy,
rude boy.
So he's the one where, you had the certain record sets and certain, collections of the records and whatever. He wasn't the one that sat me down and said, "Oh, listen to Muddy Waters or listen to Bob Marley or listen to, whoever," right? But he would just play it, right? And then the way I kind of picked up on it from his intellect with music is anything that he continued to play, then that's how I knew that he liked the record, right? Or there was something about the record.
It could be a hit,
Right, so that's what I would pay more attention to. So, there are certain Bob Marley records that he would continuously play over and over. There were certain Peter Tosh records that he continuously played over and over. There were certain Super Cat records that he played over and over. So those type of records is what, made me kind of study, those type of artists.
Pick up the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And even like with Malvern, right?
Yeah.
Like it has a reputation.
Right.
Did you get into the shits out there, or did you find a way to stay away from the streets?
Stay away, but found myself a little bit,
Slipped the 1, 2 times.
Yeah.
You try this.
Yeah. So, not, I wouldn't really call it like too heavy, you know what I mean? But,
Not enough to get your hand burnt on the stove, as they say.
No, but but what I involved myself in could have gotten me, burnt heavy, right? But, the thing is, taught by, certain OGs and stuff, like how to maneuver and how to stay clean and, how to set quotas. That's a little, sidebar for,
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Set your quotas, by the way.
Yeah.
Because we already know there's 2 sides, right?
Yeah.
You already know what's going to happen. Either you're going to go to jail or the other side.
Just don't get greedy.
Right, exactly. So set your quotas. Learned that. But I wasn't too much heavy into that. And, like I said, the OGs were like, yo, this is not for you.
Yeah.
This side is for you.
You're musically inclined.
Yeah. So stick to that type of stuff. Right. So, yeah.
And even with the music, right? Because I've always seen you as more the low key guy in the crew. Is that by design?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really that guy, but I'm that guy. Right? So I'm the quiet guy, but I'm the firecracker guy in the crew.
Yeah.
Right. So okay. So for instance, like if anything was to go down, I'd be the first guy. Right. So that's kind of like the misconception. That's like, who's this pretty boy guy? You know, what is he gonna do? Whatever. Right. But I'm the live wire guy. Right. Out of all of those guys. And they could attest to that. There's been so many times that, you know, they've been, you know, settle down, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I'm that guy. But for the most part, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like I stay quiet, I stay to myself. You know, just stay doing whatever I'm doing. You know, how can I explain it to like, I'm kind of like the sniper guy. You know what I mean? So I'm the guy that, you know, watches for everybody from afar. Right? So even back in the day when we're in the club, just chilling, like if me and you were going to the club or whatever, right? I'd be the guy that, you know, would be chilling, but I'm watching.
You're watching the whole room.
Yeah, I'm watching the whole room. Right? Yeah. And if I sense something, I'm the guy to say, yo, so let's chill over here, blah, blah, blah.
So give me a time, because I know watching the game from where I used to watch it back then, like I was dabbling in the music game a little bit, but you know, as you know, an upcoming rapper, but I was watching you guys on TV coming up, bro. Right? But the thing is, also, there was like two sides of the rap game. There's the gully side, and then you guys were pushing like fun party raps, like talking about, you know, girls. And you guys did talk about some of the things that were happening, but it wasn't pushing that same edge. Okay. So sometimes I feel like maybe people like the street edge guys would be trying to get on you guys. Like low key, I even had songs like this Cardinal on a song back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Me and him had a combo about this. Because the street guys were so like, yo, why are these guys getting? Did anybody ever try to fuck with you guys like on road? Because we didn't have the gram back then. Anytime it was something to be face to face.
To be honest, I really can't remember if, you know, certain mans used to try and, you know, whatever, but the misconception is that, you know, there wasn't anybody on the back burner per se watching the mandems, right? So
y'all are just by yourselves.
Right. So like I said, you know, the visual of the crew was that, okay, clean cut, all about fun, blah, 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 blah. But none of us were into the streets to dictate or to talk about it in a certain way where even mandems from the streets would say, I can relate to whatever these guys were saying. Yeah. Right? All of us were on a level where, okay, we actually, you know, whatever the, you
grew up in these places.
Whatever the case may be, right? But that's not our position. Our position is what we're offering to the table, right? Yeah. So to give an example, right? Just to go out, you know, just because it's just in my head. So like say for Nas, for instance, right? Out of Nas and his brother, who do you think is really the man?
It's Jungle.
It's Jungle, right?
It's Jungle you got to watch for.
Exactly. So just think about it that way, right? So, like I to be honest, I really don't remember. What I do remember though is, you know, whether it be like different crews or, you know, different artists or whatever, possibly thinking that we wouldn't want to do a track with you guys or do a record with you guys or whatever. And it wasn't that. It was that our crew was like, yo, we like Julie needs a record, Cardi needs a record, Solitaire needs a record, you know, whatever. So we were just amongst ourselves, just doing our own stuff. But the funny thing is, whoever knew us or whoever was close enough to us, they got verses all the time, or they got beats all the time.
Yeah, right? You're right about that misconception. Not to interrupt you, because people used to be like, you guys are bougie. You don't fuck with the street guys.
Exactly.
You ain't trying to collabo.
Not like that. Even to this day, it ain't like that.
They're trying to gatekeep the
never
the spotlight.
like that. Never like
Yo,
that.
fam, that people used to have crazy narratives, fam.
We knew about that. It's not like we didn't know. We knew about that, but it's it's not about that. Like, yo, just holler at the man. Like, you see us all the time, but then you're giving us a little eye, or you're walking past us, or you're not really saying whatever.
Yeah.
But then we're hearing that, you're saying this and that, and we're like, yo, why, man, them's talking in Delta. Yo, just call us up, or like next time you see us, say, yo, I want to jump on a track with you. Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Like, let's just jump on a track. Now, the only thing that I can say, right, is that just for us, right, is that, the way, we were like groomed and stuff is like, basically, if the stuff is shit, it's just shit.
Just don't do it.
And we're not doing no shit, right? We're not doing no shit. But if your thing has, a vibe, or it has some sort of like, or it's dope, whatever, yeah, we'll rock with it. We'll rock with it. Like, no doubt about it, we'll rock with it, right? So like I said, like even to this day, right, if your shit is dope, if you have some sort of, vibe to it or whatever, that we can like actually say, it has potential, or it is the shit, we'll definitely rock on it. Like, there's no questions asked about that, right? But, that was a big misconception.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, it held back a lot of collaborations that could have went down, but it didn't go down because of that, misconception, or maybe those people's mandems being in their ear saying whatever they were saying. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it was never like that. It was never like that.
No, fam. I'm glad you cleared that up, because like I was living in real time in those times.
Yeah.
And I think I might have even been part of the narrative for the street guys. You know what I'm saying? Just talking shit. And I'm just like, now as a podcaster, and in hindsight, I'm like, we were some haters.
Yeah. So here's an example, because like you mentioned Parkdale, right? So myself, Sauks and Choclair used to be in Parkdale all the time at a restaurant by the name of the Rhinos.
Okay, yeah,
right?
I know the Rhinos.
Right, so Rhinos. Shout out to our boy Tim Wilson. So he used to be the manager at Rhinos. We used to be in there all the time
on Queen.
Yeah, all the time. Right, so like we were in certain areas, and if we weren't in areas, maybe it was a pass through. Like maybe we knew someone that had to go there, to do a 1-2, or even a 1-2 with a gal or whatever. But we were in certain neighborhoods, right? And don't get it twisted. We know certain people that lived in certain neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
So even with Sauks and stuff, so like there were certain jungle mandems that were with us, or that's been a part of our things, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even to say that, we didn't know, or we weren't around, or whatever. Like even as a child, like, like my closest cousins, he used to live in jungle, right? I used to sleep over there, right? So
with you being on TV already.
With me being on TV already. And even when I was a child, like just being in certain areas, right? So it wasn't even like that. Like, it's just this misconception of basically what they may have seen, maybe the energy that we might have given off. I have no idea.
Yeah, but
right?
Fam, like you gotta remember, like now, for example, like salute to your homeboy that you were talking to before.
Right.
Like he seemed to be like a real like supporter of the show.
Oh yeah, right? 1,000.
And
shout out to Brady, by the way. Shout out to
salute to Brady. And like I've been getting used to, I'm learning to get used to people like being like, yo, I see your show,
Yeah.
This is with the gram, this is with YouTube, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Back then, man, them are seeing you guys on TV.
Right.
So what was that like? The vibe, like where people are like, yo, fam, I saw you in your video. I saw your video when you was Choclair. I saw your video when you was talking to. Oh my God, oh shit.
You know what? It was, for me, it was weird. It was extremely weird. Like even hearing my single for the first time on Flow. First time I heard that, I was actually at Choclair's house, and we were getting ready to go out. So literally, like I think it was like every weekend or every other weekend, I would be at his house and I would chill there for the whole weekend, right? So it was one night we were getting ready to go out. I'm in one of the rooms, freshening up, getting ready.
Yeah.
And then I heard the song, right? So just like, so just like everybody else that, that's experienced that, I'm like, yo, is that the song? So I turned it up. I'm like, oh shit. So like, I'm like, yo, cream. They come upstairs. I'm like, yo. So it's like, yo, congrats. Blah, blah, blah. So I remember that first night, I felt like I was the man. I'm like, yo, my song's on the radio.
You probably went into the club on 100.
Thou. I came out, I was coming through the club like, yo, no one can talk to me, man.
All you can hear in your head is
right? Yeah. So so good. I felt so
Sick.
good. And then, after that, it was like, you would hear, people like, yo, heard your song, yo, saw the video, yo, blah, blah, blah. But literally, it didn't really clue in until, remember back in the day, they had Much Music Mega Hits?
Yeah.
Okay, so one day I saw it on Mega Hits and it was like at, I think 30. And I'm like, okay, cool. Following week, it jumped from 30 to like, 25 or something like that?
Yeah.
Then the following week, it went to like 17.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was just dropping. It wasn't like minuscule drops. It was like chopping drops, right? So it wasn't until I was in
or rising, you mean?
Yeah. So it wasn't until one day I was in Eaton Center with one of my boys, shopping, fashion shit. So that, like, I think it was like 4 or 5 people were like, yo, I love your song. Yo, that song's so dope. Yo, so dope. And then the following week that actually solidified it after that time was I was walking by this guy in Scarborough Town Center. And all I remember is that he smashed the phone like on the receiver, like, like the payphone, like bam. And he turned around and he goes, yo, he goes, Dolla, he goes, yo, I just told my girlfriend to check out track 24 on the Baby Blues Sound Cruise mix because she's definitely changed, bro. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, hey, you know what? It's official now.
You were speaking to people's soul on that tune, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's fully official. And that literally came maybe 4 months after the song came out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when it kind of like stuck in and it actually like, clued in for me.
That's when you knew you were viral before viral was
right.
taken.
Yeah, and things were on a move. And I'm like, wow, okay. So now I guess I'm gonna have to like maneuver a certain way, but not on a stush way, but like,
you just gotta have your head on a little bit more of a swivel.
Yeah, just gotta, on a swivel type of thing. So like that's when it actually, happened for me. I can't really tell how it happened for anybody else, but I remember like I can remember hearing Cardi's track Naughty Dread on 88.1 for the first time on CKLN.
Yeah.
And I'm at my house and I heard it and I'm like,
yeah.
And
that's early.
Yeah, and that's early, right? So I remember those times for everybody else. But for me personally, like it didn't really clue in until about 4.5 months after. Right? Like, so even after everything that I saw, I still wasn't in belief.
Yeah.
Like even when we did the video, it was shot in one day, right? I told my parents that I was doing the video and I came back home, I think it was in the summertime. So I came back home like 6, 7 in the evening. And what I remembered from videos or watching videos or knowing about videos and stuff, it's usually like a 2-day shoot or a 3-day shoot. This happened in one day. So, so my mom's like, yo, so how did it go? I'm like, I guess
light outside when you came home.
Yeah. So I go, I guess it went okay. Did you perform well? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like I nothing clued into me. I just did what I did.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right. Shout out to Harv, by the way. So he's the director of that video.
Salute.
I think that was his first video directing. He's directed stuff alongside Director X. I can't remember the song right now, but the song with Drizzy and Future.
Life is good.
Yeah. He did something with that. He's done a lot of stuff. So shout out to Harv on that. But
salute Harv.
Yeah. So so that day, like I said, like nothing clued into me. Like I was just like going along with the whole thing. Is like, like Sauks told me to keep writing. Okay, I kept writing. Do music. Okay, do music. Practice on the beats. Okay, cool. Even with that, Cardi was the first one to get me into production.
Yeah.
And then basically Sauks is the one that actually groomed me with the production. So even with that, it was like, they would tell me what to do and I would just do it. I'm just like following instructions. I'm not really like thinking what I'm doing, right? So like I said, it wasn't until that actual time where I'm like, wow, okay, I think something's really popping off right now. So let me actually start paying attention to
really digging in.
Yeah, to what's really going on. Yeah, for sure.
And during that time, you did a Rocky Round commercial?
Yeah.
Always back with a fine new shape and a wicked new pack. You share when you're chilling with your crew or bunch.
Oh, you know about that?
I do my research, bro.
Yeah, so Rocky Round. So that was, shout out to my boy Tyson. So Tyson is one of, and as you know, Gadget. So Tyson is one.
I know Gadget, but for the people who don't know Gadget, he's the engineer behind the scenes along with 40 for the boy Drake.
Yeah, so Gadget is Yoda, as we call him. So he's Yoda. And, mysterious. Actually, what was the... started from the bottom. That's the only appearance in life that Gadget has been on camera. Okay?
I gotta go find that video.
Yeah, so I think the shot is with him, Gordo. Him, Gordo, Drizzy, and Noah. So I think it was them four in the shot, or it's either Noah, Gordo, and Gadget in the shot. But that's the only visual that you have seen Gadget's face.
Wow.
You have, he's completely anonymous. Like I said, he's Yoda. He's the guy. There would literally, in my opinion, there would literally be no music industry on the caliber of levels that Toronto is known for. So the Jellies and the Ghettos and Grassroots. And stuff like that, if it wasn't for Gadget, right?
Salute to Gadget.
Yeah, so Gadget has groomed us very, very well as far as musicality and knowing exactly what it means to put out long-lasting music. So you guys could do it yourself. I remember there's one time he told us, one time in the studio, it was me and Sauks though. But he would tell everybody else. I know he told everybody else, but there's one time in the studio he was telling us, he's like, yo, if you're not making music to last 15 years and beyond, you're wasting your time. Right? So with that being said, you can go back to anybody that I just mentioned and check their music and see how it's been a test of time that it's lasted. Right? That's something that we've held on to. That's something that I hold on to. It doesn't matter.
I'm going to write that down. Keep going.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's an album cut. It doesn't matter if it's a single, or something that you're just throwing out. Right? Who cares if you throw out 20 songs for the month? It doesn't matter. If it doesn't have that longevity standpoint, you're literally wasting your time. Right? Because when it comes to forget about residuals and all that type of stuff. When it comes to the feeling of like what people get, right? That comes and goes. And we all know this. Like we all know that there's songs that we were hype about when it dropped.
Yeah.
We were hype about it like even 3 years later. And then it kind of like
just dwindles.
Dwindles.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's songs where you're like, man, this still bumps. And then 8 years later, it's like, man. And then 15 years later, it's like, man, right?
Yeah. They could still play it at like 1 o'clock in the club.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So like I said, like that was one of the most quintessential important jewels that I took from Gadge, period.
No, man, salute to Gadge.
Yeah, so salute to Gadge for everything, for sure.
And did you do any more commercials? Like, how did you score that?
Oh, not the
I'm on track. I'm on track. And for the people who don't know, that's like it was like a ice cream bar type of thing.
Yeah, ice cream bar, chocolate bar stuff. So that was based out in the UK. So yeah, once again, shout out to my boy Tyson. So Tyson was my engineer at the time. So Tyson and Noah is Gadget's prodigies, right? So basically, Tyson, he mixes and did production stuff for commercials, right? Major commercials. He called me one day. No. I think it was Too Rude. I think it was Too Rude. Yeah. So Too Rude. Yeah. Shout out to Too Rude. So Too Rude had this. I guess he had the project or something. He hollered at me one day. He said, you need to get into this stuff. And many people have told me like I need to, get more into TV stuff. Blah blah blah. So he hit me up on that. Went, did it, nailed it in like maybe an hour or whatever. Didn't really think too much about it. Just knew that it was an opportunity for me to expand my wings, so to speak. So did that. And it kept on going. It kept on going strong for I think like 3 years or 4 years out there. I think at one point in time they were even thinking of doing like a little figure, like a
like an action
figure type of thing because of the chicken that was in the commercial, but it didn't fall through or whatever. But it was through Too Rude. Tyson's the one that mixed it, what have you. And that's just basically how that came about. Yeah,
no, man, salute to Too Rude. That's alumni too, and
shout out to Too Rude for sure.
And you mentioning Gadget, Gadget, we need a Gadget in here. I don't know, maybe you could do it in a mask. I know you don't like to show your face no more.
I could tell you from now, it will never happen.
It's not happening, right? It's not happening. I tried.
It will never happen. Put it this way: it's hard for us to even get in contact with him. Right. So if Sauks can't get in contact, like he calls Sauks. You know what I mean? Like, or Gordo could even tell you, there's one time I remember Gordo telling me he kind of knows when Gadget's calling because it's a weird number. Like it looks weird. It's some like encryption type of shit. And that's how he knows it's Gadget calling. Type of shit. Like I think the government, bro. Yeah, I think the only person that can get in contact with Gadget like in a flash is either Gordo or Noah. I don't think.
Or Drizzy himself.
I don't think.
Gadget, get over here. I'm in Paris. I need you to like mix this down right now.
I don't think anybody can get, and maybe Sauks too, right? But anybody else, I don't think, that's like such a long shot.
I'll put it it's in the universe now, right? So we'll see what happens. And okay, there's another legendary crew that you were a part of that came later on.
Yes, sir.
Big Black Lincoln.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's Saukrates, yourself, Agile
from Brass Monk.
And there's one
Tracks
more.
from
IRS.
From IRS Monolith. Once again, they were able to get tracks from us.
That's true,
right? We were able to, you know what I mean? It's not an East Side thing. It's just that they just opened their mouth, said whatever, and blessed them up. That's basically it.
No, you guys were like constant collaborators.
For sure.
But I got the Saukrates side of the story, right? From the interview I had with him. I never got to speak to Agile yet, or Omar or Tracks, right?
Right.
But I want your side of how
it came together. Yeah, so that's basically all Sauks. That's Sauks' baby. That's Sauks' creation. That's Sauks in his musical wizardry, as you would call it. So from what I remember, he had this idea of coming up with a supergroup, and it was a supergroup that encapsulated, the hip hop and the R&B side of music, and kind of like giving more of a breathing room to what we were doing anyways, which was like, singing on tracks and experimenting with different type of things or whatever. And he wanted to find a way to give that its own light without people basically shitting on it, type of thing, or thinking that, you're trying to do something that is not quote
like
unquote
without alienating your core fan base.
Right, exactly. Right. So, he came up with the plan. That's all him. So he basically picked his players, right? So, and the players that he picked was the ones that he felt was the ones that can ultimately bring his vision to life, right? So, he contacted everybody. I think I was the last one that he contacted, and I think the only reason why I was the last one because we basically are, with each other 24/7. Anyway. So it's not like he couldn't tell me at any time, right? So I think he wanted to just, make sure everybody else
see if it's actually a thing they could do.
Right. Oh, another member, Shikari Knight. So that's another member, and that was an artist that they were working with under Capitol Hill with Chase, and stuff. And once again, Chase, Sauks' manager.
Yeah.
Chase is a jungle man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So in any case, so that whole thing happened, called me about it. I was kind of like apprehensive about it because I wasn't really sure if it would fly the way that I know it should fly, right? Because how can I say this? Me and Sauks, and he can basically, testify to this. Me and Sauks are kind of like outcasts, right? So, and we kind of like play both sides. So like I'm kind of like Big Boy and Andre, and he's kind of like Andre and Big Boy. More so Andre, right? So certain music, like he already knew that I would be the one that would understand it the most, right? So basically what happened with that is, he contacted me about it. I was kind of like apprehensive. I'm like, yo, if we're gonna do it, it needs to be on whatever. And then he was like, no, it's going to be. And he's like, let me tell you the players. So then he told me the players. I'm like, okay, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. Once I heard the players, I'm like, okay, makes sense. Let's do it. It's the one time, I tell people this all the time. It's the one time that I wish you, Friday, I don't care who it is, right? I wish they were all there at the time when that album was being done. If anybody doesn't believe in magic, let me tell you from now, magic's real. Okay? Musical magic is very real because, man, like just how the whole thing happened, it was basically like an assembly line without being an assembly line. So like we would be at Sauks' house, tracks would come over with beats, Aggie, Agile would come over with beats. I had, basically all the interludes on the album. Majority of that was my production and stuff. So, and it was just like a kind of like assembly, like everybody like took a piece. Oh, you know what? That's dope. Let me put my splash on it, whatever. And it was kind of like head down. Like we weren't thinking about anything. We weren't thinking about nothing. And it really came down to the point where Gadget, I think it was like the time to hand in the album, and Gadget was like, yo, we gotta like, hand it in. So, we went to, get it mixed, whatever. Still, we weren't even really thinking about it. You guys
are just in the zone.
Yeah, we weren't even really thinking about anything. Got it mixed, got it mastered, whatever. Then I remember he was saying like, yo, we gotta really hand it in. So you guys, put it in track listing, like what would go, whatever. Yeah. That was the only time that we actually sat down and listened to all the songs that we created. And it took us, I think, maybe 3 or 4 hours to actually decipher what would go first to what would go last.
Really?
And literally, whatever you see was just a throw. So it wasn't even like, okay, the only song that I remember that, okay, this is first was In the Hood. So the very first song, that was, okay, this has to go first.
Yeah.
Anything else, we just kind of like said, okay, this is 3, this is 5. Like we really couldn't come up with the actual track list.
Yeah.
Because if you even listen back to it, any song could go first, second, seventh, eighth. Like it didn't really matter, right? But it took us a very long time to kind of piece it together. And it was kind of like at the very crunch time of everything that we said, okay, you know what? Let's just put it together and then just give it back to him and like, just call it a day.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, it's the most magical moment in my life for when it comes time for making music. Like, wouldn't trade it for nothing. What we created in that, like people even thought that it took us like 2 years. I remember that. Like people were like, yo, how long did it take you guys to make this? Like a year and a half, 2 years? No, it took us 3 months.
Wow.
Took us 3 months to make that album.
Wow.
Yeah. Every single day, night to day. Like we would literally be finishing by like 4 or 5. I'll be back at Sauks' house by like 9, 10, going again. Just constantly going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's some classic material right there, fam.
Oh, and by the way, I'm putting it on record from now. That was 808s and Heartbreaks before 808s and Heartbreaks.
Oh, for sure. It was rappers who decided we're going to do a whole album and sing.
Right. And all of us was doing that anyways. So it kind of gave us that breathing room to like showcase that, not feel any pressure, not feeling any ways. Everybody knew Sauks for the singing and stuff. And obviously, tracks for the singing and stuff. Like you said before, like I was kind of like in the back. So people really didn't really know that, I had that type of vibrato with certain things.
But fam, think about it, like, and salute to Drizzy.
Yeah.
That is Drake before Drake. Drake was a rapper who can sing.
Yeah.
All of you guys also are rappers who had singing abilities and then decided, you know what, let's just make full songs where we don't even rap sometimes. Right. And Kanye took that formula, Drake took that formula, and now it's just a fucking formula, bro.
Yeah, well for me when it comes to the boy, with me, like that's fam, right? So like, knowing them, like I even remember like Noah plugging in like certain things at the studio for us, for Sauks and stuff, right? And answering the phone and stuff at 306, right? So like I said, like on for them, like I wasn't watching anything like on that type of shit. Like but
in hindsight,
right,
like when you look in the order of when you're hearing singing and rapping,
right?
One, it came from Toronto first.
Oh yeah.
Really think about it, because Big Black Lincoln was doing that in like the early 2000s before Kanye got onto the
that was 2005.
Right. 808 and Heartbreaks is like 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing that I would give that a slight, as we would call a respect due, is that he actually did it himself, like his entire self, like so production, everything like that.
Yes.
So, just to give a little,
but to
whatever,
take the attempt to be like, I'm gonna just not rap for a whole album and let's see how that works.
Right.
And you guys came out with Pimpin' Life and all these different classics from that album.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, shout out to Dolla that produced Pimpin' Life.
Right? Like, it was received well. So it wasn't like, we experimented and people have never heard of it because nobody cared.
Right.
Like, it was received well. So, you guys were the trendsetters or something like that. Even if they didn't even directly take the sauce from up here, which a lot of times they do. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah. Don't even let me get heated on that. Like too much sauce. Too much sauce. So even when it in the 90s when they started incorporating like the reggae stuff in hip hop and stuff.
Oh, don't get on that.
Oh yeah. Right. So even during them times, like certain artists or whatever, they used to come down Caravana. They used to like check out the vibe. They used to hear the music, but they would always shit on the music. Who are these Canadian guys? What are they gonna do? They ain't, but they would steal and thief our things and then smidget it up in their things like it's, it's their things. It's not your things, bro.
Yeah.
It's not your things.
No, I've heard the rumors. I've kind of like peeped the game.
No. It's not your things, right? Trust me, right? Trust me, it's not your things, right? And that's another thing too. Like, just to give all the young bucks a little bit of encouragement and stuff.
Oh, please do.
Don't think for 1 second that things just started now, right? Things were happening way back, and things were happening on a level that, we didn't get our just due.
Yeah.
Right. So like, the singing and this and that and whatever, didn't get, our just due. Like even, even with Mishy with Jamaican funk, even from them times, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Public Enemy, gave her, a respect due. KRS-One gave her a respect due. They know what's up.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, whatever DreamWars, UK at that time, they gave them their respect.
They had a platinum record from back then.
From way back then. You know what I mean? So from time, right? So, but to not acknowledge it and say, okay, well, these artists from this, place were the ones that started this or were experimenting with this first. Give them the respect due. They were always shitting on Canadians. So that's why for me, what's going on with all the artists now, even the young, the new generation and stuff. That's why for me, I'm so giddy. That's why I'm like, yes, right? Keep fucking them up, right? Keep fucking them up, right? Because it's all about like reparations right now, right? Like you, like everything that we worked for from back then, on top of what you guys are doing now. Yeah, you owe us.
So are you happy with the scene now when it comes to like the Toronto scene that you're seeing?
Half and half, right? Like I like there's a lot of artists that I love, right? That I listen to and stuff. But like I said, what we, and hopefully like whoever hears this or whatever, take it in and just know it's coming from a good place. It's coming from a loving place. It's coming from a like I said, dust them up, right? When you're out there, make them know where you're at, where you come from, and don't play with us. Okay, we're not the ones to play with, right? I don't care what region of the city you come from. We are not to play with. Okay, so I'm so happy that the artists that are getting their shot and their bus is doing what they're doing for themselves, but also repping the city, right? But like I said, like what I mean, just make sure that whatever you're doing, you have that 15 to 20 year longevity in your headspace, right?
Or you're wasting your time.
Yeah, you're just wasting your time. And it's not like I'm saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying you'll see it for yourself. Like you'll just see your song do amazingly well, and then 2 years from now, it'll just drop. And then you're gonna ask yourself, well, how come it dropped? And I'm like, well, it didn't hit in the way that it was supposed to hit. Whether it's a street tune, whether it's a party tune, whether it's a a relationship tune, like it doesn't matter. If it's not coming from a certain place, it's not gonna go.
It's not gonna last.
It's not gonna last. Like here's an example. Remember Mobb Deep, Drink Away the Pain? Right? That was all about them talking about how they were, with the whole drinking, like
the E&J
and all that stuff, right? And the way that they wrote it was in a relationship standpoint, right? Like the E&J was their gal.
Yeah.
Right?
And then Q-Tip came in talking about clothes, but
right.
but that's but I get you. Yeah.
But still, if you put it on right now,
still a classic.
It's still a classic. Shook Ones
still turns out the party, fam.
Right? Any 50 Cent joint, right? I whoop your head, boy.
Yeah.
Still bangs.
He made the birthday anthem, and that song is 20 years old.
Yeah, you're right. And that's that's a party track.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and everybody when it's
18 years old or something.
Right.
Like that.
And on a lot of, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people, when it's their birthday or when it's like a feel good time, or maybe you haven't gone out in a minute or whatever, you might fling that on, while you're getting ready or, or whatever. Yeah.
No, it still plays to this day every weekend.
Yeah.
To young people.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, like, for all the young bucks, all, the new generation and stuff, coming from me, very, very proud of all of you guys. I might not know every single one of you guys, right? Like I said, like I listen to certain people and stuff. So I'm still attentive with stuff, right? But you know what I mean? Like just remember that, right? Every time you go into that studio, every time that you're ready to, lace down a track, I don't care what you're talking about. Just have that thought in your head, right? Is this something that I can hear myself listening to 5 years, 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Right? And if you can fully admit that to yourself, then rinse the tune.
Yeah.
Right? Do your thing, right? And more than likely, it will last that long.
Yeah. No, that's facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
And the other side of that question though, what parts do you not like about what's going on with the scene?
Just the following. Just the following. You know what I mean? Right? I know, like, they've probably heard it time and time again, like back in our day, like, you couldn't sound like someone, or you couldn't, do certain things like that person.
Yeah, biting wasn't allowed.
Yeah, it was not allowed. But really, but if you look at it this way, in different aspects of your life, right? Like look at it this way. Put it this way. If you're a kicks man, like if you're a sneaker man, right? And you got a certain exclusive sneaks, right? And say you saw like 5 or 6 of your mandems have the same sneaks, unless it was orchestrated by you guys to have all the sneaks, isn't gonna kind of make you feel kind of like a ways that how many mans are rocking the same sneaks as you? Or
True.
If you see it so many times out there, isn't it gonna be like, yo, I thought these were the exclusives, and they're not really the exclusives. So you're gonna kind of like feel away, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the music. It's the same thing with the music. Like if you came up with a certain flow and okay, this is my shit, and then now you hear like 6, 7 people with the same shit, you're not gonna feel away?
Well, you gotta ask the Migos about that one right there.
But you know what I mean? Like, come on, like you have to feel away, bro.
Yeah.
You have to feel away. You know what I mean?
Migos, Future, and all them, they're probably over somewhere feeling away, fam.
Yeah, you have to feel away, and even to draw parallel to that with the fashion stuff, even with my boys that are hardcore in the fashion, we never like that. We never like that. We used to always go for exclusives, or like, or even like even switch it in a certain way. So we might get something and then we'll add like things to it, right, to make it different. Right. Like we would never, try and even if it was what I call mannequin material. So like anything that you would see on the mannequin, or anything that you would see in the magazines, whatever that, certain people would copy, I wouldn't even go there. Right. Because I already knew that how many people were going to get that. Yeah. Here's another fact too, even like, cause I'm just, going off the top right now with that shit. So even now with fashion houses, right? So fashion houses don't make an extensive amount of different pieces within their line.
Right.
So you'll never see like 16 to 18 different type of pieces, right? There's only like, I think like 10 to 12 pieces.
Okay.
Right? So you got to imagine whatever's in that Gucci store is the same thing that you would see in the flagship in New York. It's the same thing that you're going to see in the flagship in LA with all the celebrities and whatever. And everybody knows this because they've seen it. They've seen like how many celebrities wearing the same shirt, the same shoe,
the Gucci tracksuit,
or whatever, like how many times, right? Because there's no differentiation to that. If it's the brown or the olive with this, that's it. You're not gonna get the blue, the whatever, right? The only times that you'll get that is if you have an ins, right? And if you get, and if they send you, some free shit or whatever, then you can kind of rock that for like 2 months before it becomes.
Before it hits the rack for everybody else.
The rack for everybody else. That's the only way that you can kind of stay exclusive within fashion housing. Right? But just know that when you go to those stores, more than likely you're gonna see it out there. It might not be in the public because not everybody could afford it per se, but whatever you're rocking, trust me, you're gonna see it on TV. You're gonna see other celebrities rock it. You're gonna see whatever you're gonna see. And trust me, you're not gonna feel the way that you felt when you first got it. Even if it's a t-shirt, you're gonna see, oh, this person has the same Amiri t-shirt that I just got. or this one got the same Balenciaga jacket that I just got.
Once it's a super douchebag you see wearing that same
it's over.
Gucci tracksuit that everybody had, you're like, oh
yeah, it's over. Right, it's over.
This guy's
so
wearing that?
Yeah, it's over. So if you don't know how to mix and match, if you don't know how to like take something from that and mix it with some even on well, I already know that you're not into fashion. I already know that you follow like the book.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so you know, if you don't know how to, you know, coordinate yourself and stuff, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Listen,
I don't know
fam.
what to tell you.
Listen, I you know, to close the fashion conversation, I've always been a guy who loved my gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But one thing about doing this podcast shit, bro, it's really been where it's like I don't have to. Listen, bro, I got a bunch of a nice care package here from you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's blessed me to be able to see all the different designers' gear in the city,
right?
From the different gear that we get blessed with. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing that I love about all the upcoming designers, or even the designers that have been prevalent from time, is that they're on that exclusive stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know it. Maybe they do, right? Because I don't know. But from what I can see, they're on that exclusive shit, right?
Yeah.
So stay on the exclusive shit, right?
Oh yeah, I got a piece that I wore on the way here, a hoodie from Cash Feelings.
Right.
I haven't seen anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From their line.
Right.
Stuff like that makes me feel good because I'm like, ain't nobody else got my hoodie, fam.
Right. And it's good quality shit. It's not like, you know, it's not no, you know, play.
Yeah, they gave me that years ago. I'm still rocking it.
Right. So that, you know, that's what I said. You can equate that to even, like I said, like with music or anything in your life. You don't want to be like everybody else. Why would you want to be like everybody else? Like, why would you want to be in the same box? Yeah. Right? Like think about it this way. If you were in a box, like say like right now, we're in this box, right? There's only so much you can do and play within the box.
Yeah.
Now, when you're outside, right? So think about this. You're in your house or whatever. Think about that as your box. Now, when you're outside, there is so much more for you to explore, so much more for you to touch, so much more for you to experiment with. So why would you want to stay in the box when you have so much more that you can contribute to yourself by being outside of the box?
That box, yeah.
Right. For me, it doesn't make no sense for me. Like I've never played within the box, ever.
Yeah.
Right. And I've gotten ridiculed for that. Like, you know, from time, like, oh, look at this guy wearing. I remember when I was wearing pink before people were in pink. You know what I mean? I used to get ridiculed with that on the street for them times, right? Now, look, if you don't have pink in your wardrobe, you're looking like
you're playing yourself.
Yeah, you're playing yourself, right?
Yeah.
So like,
you got to match it with the kicks too,
right? You know what I mean? And so many different, you know, avenues and stuff, right? So I've never played within the box. The box is boring. The box won't bring you nowhere.
Yeah.
The box will only bring you to a certain point, and then you're gonna bump your head. And then you're going to try and go somewhere else in the box, and it's going to bump your head again. You're not going to be free. You're not going to be free with nothing. Be free, bro. Be free with whatever you want to do. If you want to mix rock with this, mix rock with that. Like whatever it is, you know. If you want to work with this artist versus that artist, work with, you know, don't limit yourself, right? Don't limit yourself, right? Because when you limit yourself, you're going to limit your potential, right? So don't limit your potential, right?
Oh man, that's wise words right there from
for real.
Dolla right there, man.
Yeah, for real.
So, you know, we're here now, 2023.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up, like coming down the pipeline, like, you know?
Oh, so besides the fashion stuff, so like, you know, currently I'm working on the EP right now. So I'm still doing the music stuff, right?
Yeah, because you dropped the North Hollywood album back in 2020, right?
No, yeah. So long story.
Or you put it on streamers.
Yeah, so I put it on streaming services for that. You know, people were like looking for it, especially with the You've Changed track. And most importantly, the instrumental. Like everybody wanted the instrumental, couldn't find the instrumental. I did that purposely though, right? I did that purposely. So my bad, my fault for anybody that was looking for it. But I purposely did that. But, you know, put that, you know, ego type of thing aside and said, you know, let everybody, you know, do whatever they wanted to do with it. But I'm, you know, still doing that. Getting more so into graphic arts design. So doing that type of stuff. getting more into trying to branch my wings over to the acting field and stuff. I've got, TV stuff. I've been told, by too many people that I should be on TV and that I should be doing TV stuff. Blessed enough to even, get that type of encouragement from Mark Walberg, by the on that.
Salute.
Yeah. So like I was telling you off of this, so my boy Dave Sabatino, so he knows his brother
Donny.
So shout out to D-Dub. So I know Donny. And
that man's a hip hop too. Remember, that's Marky Mark.
Yeah. So just a little historical fact for people who may not know. So the way it was for them in Boston was that apparently New Kids on the Block lived on one street, and then around the corner, New Edition lived like directly. So it's almost like an L shape. He said. So when they were not really clowning, when we were thinking that they're trying to like be these black kids or whatever, it's like, no, they hung around those guys. They went to school with those guys and with those.
They're from the hood.
Yeah, they're from the hood.
Yeah.
Right? So, that bad boy image that people, may know Mark for back in the day, that wasn't a play. That's actually him, right? At the time, right? So long story short, there's one day, he was at, Fluid one day in this club, back in the day, downtown. So, and, Dave was like, yo, this is, Ro, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I know you. And I'm like, you don't know me. And he goes, no, I know you. You're on the TV all the time.
Wow.
Right? And he goes, every time I come here and I'm in my hotel room, I see you on my fucking TV. Right? So then what he said is, goes, you know what? You should actually be on TV. Right? He goes, you have the look, you have this, you have that. He goes, you should be on TV. And he goes, you must be doing something right because not everybody is on the TV that much. And not everybody gets the opportunity to showcase themselves no matter what they're doing, on TV that much. He goes, yeah, whatever you're doing, bro. He goes, keep on doing what you're doing. I'm like, bless up, thank you.
That's
whatever,
the word
whatever.
from the big Mark W himself there.
Yeah. Right. So then I remember a couple of months later, Donny was here. He was shooting Saw 3. So he was here at that time, connected with him, and I told him that story, and he goes, yeah, my brother wasn't lying. He goes, you should be on you should be on TV. Right? So I'm like, okay, let me work on it. But obviously I was, doing some other things, what have you. But now that's something that I'm really trying to, focus more on and stuff like that.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. So hopefully putting it out in the universe. So hopefully 2024, something will pop off for me somehow, shape or form. Yeah, for real.
Okay. Yeah, man. Roll Dolla in the motherfucking building, man.
Easy.
Listen, I enjoyed having this conversation with you, bro. I like I said earlier in the interview, like I always feel that I seen you're visible, but you were always like the more low key guy. So I was like, I'd be seeing you around on road and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you be in the cut. Right. So I felt it was important to have this conversation for the people who also seen you from that point of view to get to know you better.
Oh, of course,
and for all these new youngins to be watching the show and stuff to get some of this Toronto history.
Yeah, of course. So I
appreciate you.
Yeah, King. Of course. Yeah, but like I said, like even as we would call regular life, like I'm that type of guy. Like I'm just in the cut. I'm not really the verbal guy. I'm not, I'm not out there. I'm more so the observant guy. Like that's what one of the things that my father always told me. He's like, your eyes were meant to only see, but to observe. Don't spend your days of your life gazing into thin air because that's when you're going to miss out on the truth. Right? So I've always been an observant person.
That's true.
Yeah. So I've always been an observant person, always been in the cut. But like I said, like I'm the cracker guy, right? Like I'm the live wire guy, right?
Silent but deadly.
Exactly. So don't fool yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Don't fool yourself. Yeah, for real.
And for the people out there, you know, where do you want them to find you as far as the social medias, websites, any of that good stuff, man?
Yeah, so social media, on Instagram, you can find me on the clothing website, which is Room Full of Colors, but it's ARFO Colors, and that's spelled the Canadian way, COLOURS.
Yes, sir.
So once again, ARFO COLOURS. You can find me on Twitter, at Dolla, Twitter. You could find me, where else am I at? YouTube, you could just type in the name Dolla, RODOLLA. So you can find me on there. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, man. Make sure to follow him on all socials. Make sure to tap into the music. Make sure to tap into the clothing. Next time you see me on camera, I'm gonna be rocking some exclusive art of color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or a room full of color. I mean, my bad. Right? And like I said, man, thank you for having this conversation.
Oh, for sure.
More than an interview, a conversation.
Oh, for sure. We can go on forever. It's
trust me.
We can go on forever on that.
One thing I want to do also before we get out of here, big salute to the sponsors once again. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Been keeping me toasty throughout this whole interview.
Toasty.
Diamond Club, they got deliveries all over the GTA and across Canada. Hit them up on their Instagram page, Diamond Club. What's up?
Does Diamond Club have the diamonds?
Oh, yeah. They have diamonds too.
Yeah.
Fam, I have some at home, bro. I just be putting that in the spliffs too, bro. I be getting wavy, bro. Trust me, Diamond Club holds me down, fam. So hit them up on their Instagram page, Diamond Club _ Canada, and Steamin' Hot Grabber. Hit them up on their Instagram page, Steamin' Hot Grabber. Get yourself some of that peanut butter grabber too. Ooh.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. I think I'm gonna take us out here with Pimpin' Life.
Yeah, we could go on some straight pimping.
Cause that's my tune.
We keep it pimping. Shout out to Dolla, from the D that produced the track.
We love hip hop.